You're watching the 2024 SCAC Fall Media Days. Today, we're taking a look at the Trinity University volleyball program. The Tigers will once again be led as they head into the season under the guidance of head coach Julie Jenkins, along with leadership from fifth years Maddie Fate and Mackenzie Logan. Coach Maddie, Mackenzie, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us, Russell.
Coach, we'll get things started with you heading in remarkably into your 40th season as the head coach there as the Trinity University Tigers volleyball program. And just like those previous 39, they've all started similar here at preseason camp and getting everyone back together. I'm just interested in your thoughts, the excitement going into a new season, this group. What are you looking forward to about having this team back together, and how excited are you to be on the precipice of yet another season here as we get ready for the fall?
Yeah, I'm super grateful to be these guys' coach. We've got what I'm most excited about, I think number one is all the talent we have returning. We're returning 12 players out of last year's roster. And these guys, Maddie and Mac, are such a huge part of this team, but we have an outstanding group of returners, and we've got an outstanding group of newcomers. We've got 7 new additions this year. So I think the excitement is, wow, just so grateful to return all the talent that we are returning. So grateful that these two have decided to stay for a 5th season. And then just so appreciative of the quality of this newcomer class that we have, and excited to see what they're going to accomplish in their first year in this program. And, the preseason is one of the most exciting times of the year. They come in here and we don't have to worry about classes for about a week or so. And it's nice to be able to just focus 100% on volleyball in this preseason. And these two are such a big part of this, and we can't wait to get started.
Maddie, one of the things that I've appreciated about Coach Jenkins over the years is kind of the idea that everyone on her team within your program there can be leaders. It doesn't matter if it's your first day stepping on campus, or in your case, one of the 5th year senior leaders within this group. How have you kind of embraced that idea, that mantra, and how do you sort of pass that message down to some of these younger first years, second years within this program, to kind of just really understand that value going into this 5th season?
Absolutely. So it's just like you said, everyone comes in here, no matter how many years of experience you have on the court, on this team, whatever it may be. The expectations are, of course, the same. We push each other, and we all expect the best out of each other and expect each other to give our best. But in terms of leadership, that's always been something that I think for me personally, I learned from the upperclassmen when I was younger, the alumni now. So like that credit absolutely goes to them, and probably the alumni before them as well. And now as a older role on this team, I strive to do the same and to push those qualities of leadership on the young girls. And that's really just inspiring confidence within them on and off the court.
Mackenzie, you're coming off an outstanding season, a career year for you, in which you earned so many accolades: first team All SCAC, first team All Region, second team All American. Just a phenomenal year up and down, no matter how you look at the statistics. What does a year like that do for you, just in terms of your individual confidence and the growth that you made as a player over the course of last year? And what have you continued to kind of work on over the heels of that successful season, this summer, the off season, coming into this your final year at Trinity?
It definitely gives me confidence going into the next season. It really shows you that you really can do anything if you work hard and you work as a team too. I wouldn't be anywhere without anybody else on my team, because every kill that I got was from a set, from a dig that maybe wasn't me, or it's just a really team effort. And I would say that I'm really excited about this season, and I've worked really hard this summer to keep building on it, because even though all of that happened, I still have one more season to go, and you just want to keep going up from there.
Coach, we talked about kind of your excitement coming into the start of this preseason, and going into this 40th year. And one of the things that I've, that's been so consistent over that time is the success and the winning. But I'm interested from your perspective, how have you seen yourself change as a coach? I would imagine, some of the stuff you're doing now in preseason is a lot different than maybe those first couple of preseasons when you got to campus. Are there adjustments that you've had to make, transitions that you've made that have helped you continue to be consistent and successful throughout the course of this remarkable career?
I think the biggest change is I've aged. I think I have continued to really enjoy coaching. I think that's the number one thing that has helped me. Just the passion that I still have for the game and being able to work with these young student athletes. You can't ask for a more fun career. It's been phenomenal, and thinking about this being 40 years just blows my mind. And but I think, as far as change throughout the years, the biggest change really has been the athletes, not so much me. I have changed, and I'll discuss that in a minute, but the biggest change is these guys. What they can do in the weight room now compared to what we did 40 years ago. How high above the net they're playing now, the force in which they're hitting now, their overall strength, their size. Obviously, their size has changed. The average height on the team, the average shoe size. I mean, their hands. I mean, it's unbelievable the growth of our athletes, and you see that across the board, all sports. But for me personally, I've always tried to have the mindset to be, number one, open-minded. You're going to learn from your players. You learn, the coaching staff, we all learn from each other. But I think I've always made it a point to always try to tweak this, tweak that, and find ways to get that much better technically on how you're teaching skills and relaying to your players why you teach the way you teach. And then I've also taken on the mindset throughout the years that it is not my way or the highway. Now, these two might beg to differ, but I think they would probably agree that it is a team effort. We're all in this together. And yes, I have certain standards that they know that mean a lot to this program, and we're not going to keep moving forward unless we continue to raise the bar and raise the bar as a team and raise the bar individually on what the expectations are for each and every player. But I think, the game has grown. You've got to grow with it. Just the speed of the offense. I mean, that's one big difference. The speed of the offense right now is way different even than it was just 15, 20 years ago. And then, we could talk all day technically about volleyball, but the game has changed and you have to change with it. So I think I've always tried each and every year to incorporate something a little different. And it may not even be something that drastic. It may have to do with your terminology and what you're trying to get them to do, that maybe this registers a little better with them using this terminology versus another terminology, even though really the end result is the same. But I think the game has changed tremendously, and I feel honored that I've been able to coach this many years and have the success that we've been able to achieve here at Trinity. But it's a team effort. It's all of our coaches. It's not just me. It's our assistant coaches. It's all of our players and the leadership. These guys, Mac takes leadership really seriously on this team now. It's everybody's effort to get the most out of each person, to get the most out of themselves, but to get the most out of their teammates. And they do play for each other. There's no question about it. But it's a great question. And I think it's a combination of things. It's, yes, evolving with the game, but the players have evolved. I mean, it's like night and day, their size, their athleticism, their strength. So yeah, it's been a fun journey for sure.
Maddie, similar to Mackenzie last year, you're coming off just an outstanding season, a career year for you as well. You joined her first team All SCAC, first team All Region, second team All American, and similar to Mackenzie, you look at those statistics across the board, just career highs, phenomenal, and a testament to the work that you've put in over your career. How did that lift your confidence as well? How was that something that you felt was there, and to see the results, I would imagine, really boost that confidence level? And what have you continued to work on individually coming into this year?
Absolutely. So that's, I mean, all those like numbers and accolades are definitely like through years of work. Like that didn't just like happen last year. Like for both of us, like that's work that we've been putting in like since freshman year, since like high school, even if you want to say. But it definitely is the biggest thing, like like similar to what you said, an affirmation that like what you believe is possible, that you can achieve that level. So that was really fantastic to have for both of us this year. And I think for this upcoming season, it's going to be a big motivator for us, because while like we are so happy that we're able to achieve that, there's always more. And we always here at Trinity strive to be the best. So I think you can expect big things from both of us this season.
Mackenzie, a big part of this program has always been, and something that Coach Jenkins has always talked about, is the chemistry within this group, and how important that chemistry, off the floor and beyond just the lines of play, have been towards the success of this group as a whole. And I would imagine a huge part of that chemistry, of course, is Coach Jenkins and her, constant, just being a part of this program and being steady as other things have changed. But how have you felt that chemistry become a part of this team as you've grown into this role? And how do you continue to keep building that and adding to that chemistry in the history of how that's been important within this program?
Yeah, team chemistry is definitely one of the biggest things for our team. No matter what, we always need to have that chemistry on the court, or else none of it works. Since I was a freshman, every upperclassman would talk about buying into our team chemistry, like supporting each other, being there for each other at all times. And through my career, I've just seen that, like the great examples that they set for us doing that. Like we have people within our team who we can go to for anything. We spend like most of our time together. And during these preseasons, we spend so much time together just talking and like introducing the freshmen to our team chemistry and our team culture. And I think that helps them buy into it, which ultimately like leads them to play good with us on the court. And like we all like surround ourselves with each other at all times. And I don't know, it just helps the chemistry really well when you connect like that on a deeper level.
Coach, I think one of the wonderful things about the world of athletics is when you talk about success, it can be defined in so many different ways. Certainly there are black and white measurements, and you can look at wins and losses or statistics, but I know that you have grown to appreciate so many other ways of defining success. And I'm just interested, when you talk about that with your women, with your team, about success looks like, whatever that message is. What does that message look like for you? What do you try to help these women define success, and ultimately this year looks successful if what plays out?
Well, overall, for their entire career here at Trinity, I have expressed to them that I feel like we have been a success. And they have been a success if we can say at the end of their career that they're at an all-new high for their confidence, how ambitious they are, how strong they are, how happy they are. And that spells cash, and it has nothing to do with money. But I do think that that is a big part of your happiness, that you're always finding a way to grow your confidence. Is this program doing that for you, or is it taking it away? Grow your ambitiousness. We're always raising the bar for each one of these players. Every year the bar is higher, what the expectations are. Internally, do they feel do they not so much strength, but do they feel strong in their beliefs and in their self-belief? And are they happy? And it's been, and the fact that these guys choose to come back a fifth year, and we've had really good luck with the majority of our players coming back a fifth year, that's this confirmation to me that this is a program where they are continuing to grow in all four of those areas. So to me, that's what measures success. If they can say after these 4 and 5 years that they're more confident than ever now. They're more ambitious than ever. They keep raising their own bar and so forth. For this season, we're measuring our confidence by measuring our success, for this upcoming season in the following way. And it's kind of based off one of our recent graduates has just had a horrific family tragedy. And so we're putting our motto this year as having fun at the very front of everything is you have to be having fun. Why bother doing it if you're not? You have to be dialed in and focused. So it's fun, focus, and family. And family, our extended family is this volleyball team. And a big part of this season is going to be helping one of our fellow family members and helping her cope. And so to me, at the end of this season, if we can say that we've had fun and that we have been dialed in and focused and we have kept our family a priority, then to me, that is having a successful season. And that's probably going to be our motto for this year. We talked about it yesterday a little bit during our two-a-days yesterday.
Finally, as we wrap up.
Just teasing. We didn't have a two-a-day yesterday.
And finally, as we wrap up.
Although we want to.
As we wrap up with our two student athletes, both Maddie and Mackenzie, one of the things Coach talked about is before ever hitting the floor is it's important to have those goals and kind of aspirations of what you want to achieve before heading out to try and work to accomplishing those. So when you've had those conversations as some of the leaders on this team with, not only yourselves, but some of the other, players and other leaders within this group, what have those conversations looked like? What are some of those goals and aspirations for this group? And then also, individually, what are some of your individual goals for the two of you going into this year?
Yeah. So in the beginning of every season, of course, we have our team goals of what we as a team, as a unit, want to achieve that year. And those could look as in like, oh, we want to win the SCAC, or it could be statistical goals that we're trying to achieve. And on top of that, we also have our individual goals, which, we've met personally with our coaching staff, and we discussed usually in the springtime of what we plan to improve on in the fall.
Yeah. Another thing that we do in preseason is we like to talk about like what each person on the team needs. And one of our goals during games is that if they're not having their needs met, or if they need more support, like somebody or the whole team will come together and give them that extra support. And like one of my personal goals is to like make everybody on the court and on the team around me happy and supported, because we play better when we're happy and we're supported and we're having a good time on the court.
And finally, Coach, as we wrap up, I'm just interested, as we come into this year, your mindset as Trinity embarks on their final year in the SCAC, and certainly you can't talk about the SCAC and volleyball and the history without talking about Coach Jenkins and what you and has meant to this conference in terms of your leadership and your success and just your constant presence amongst our group throughout the years. And so for you, going into your final season as a coach in the SCAC, just your thoughts. I don't know if you've even reflected on it at all. Maybe you've thought about it, maybe you haven't, but just, what it's meant to you to be a part of this league, and then going, ultimately into this final year, what it will mean to you, and just kind of that mindset for you going into this season.
I don't know that I've really reflected on what it's meant to be in this conference. I think that'll come later, but I definitely will tell you that we're so appreciative to have one more year in the SCAC, and this is going to be a very special year because we know it's our last. And I think just off the top, thinking about the SCAC, number one, I'm just so proud of all of the coaches in this SCAC and some of the long-standing coaches that we had at various institutions, and how much this conference has grown and has become one of the top conferences in NCAA volleyball. And, we had many, many years where we were sending 3 teams to the NCAA tournament. I think we even had one year where we sent 4. And I will say, reflecting, that's probably what I'm most proud of, is how much the coaches within the SCAC, how much we have pushed each other. I could go on about coaches in particular, but I don't think it's appropriate right now. But gosh, I mean, we've really had some great volleyball coaches within this conference and great programs, and they have pushed Trinity, and I think Trinity has pushed them. And I think it's just been a great camaraderie on what we've meant to each other and the level that we've pushed ourselves to. And we couldn't have done it just by ourselves. Trinity could not have just done that by themselves. And it's been a terrific conference, and I will always pay close attention to the SCAC. And like I said, I'm grateful that we get one more year, and obviously we want to end on a very good note, and we're going to appreciate the opportunity ahead of us this year.
Trinity University head volleyball coach Julie Jenkins, along with leadership from 5th-year seniors middle blocker Maddie Fate and outside hitter Mackenzie Logan. The Tigers will open up their 2024 campaign on August 30th when they take on SUNY Cortland. Coach, Maddie, Mackenzie, thanks so much for your time today, and best of luck as you head into the year.
Thank you, Russell. Thank you. Take care.